What's going on, y'all? What it is? So let's go ahead and slide on this topic, and I want to talk about the tragic passing of Liam Payne and the possible connection that his passing may have to Diddy. At least that's what some people think. Now, for those of you who are not familiar to who Liam was, he was a part of a pop boy band group called One Direction, and they did pretty well for themselves, and they obtained a lot of commercial success. Now, Liam unfortunately passed away a couple of days ago on October the 16th, and he was staying in Argentina at a hotel, I believe it's called Casa Sur. I could be pronouncing that wrong, but it is what it is today. And so they're saying that he fell from the 3rd floor. Now, Liam was not alone the whole entire time he was there in Argentina. He was accompanied by his girlfriend, Kate Cassidy. Now, Kate Cassidy said that they were only supposed to be there for 5 days, but it turned into 2 weeks and she was ready to go home. So she left 2 days prior to his passing and she went back to Florida. Now, Kate did say something that could be interesting or it could mean nothing. She said that prior to her boarding her flight to go back to Miami, that she broke out into a weird rash due to her anxiety about the travel. Now, I do understand that there are many different settings that can trigger one's anxiety. For instance, some people have anxiety and panic attacks while they're driving. Some people have panic attacks and things like that because they don't like to be around large crowds. I do understand that dynamic in its totality. But what I'm saying is, I would like to know, is this a regular occurrence that happens to her every time she flies? Or did she know something prior to leaving Liam behind before she flew back to Miami? It's not saying that she's tied to anything. It's just a simple and honest question. Because at this particular point right now, everyone and anyone should be a suspect. Now, Liam's ex, Maya Henry, said some groundbreaking things as it pertains to their split back in May of 2022. And she said that he would use, and I'm going to paraphrase this, suey, all right? You guys just fill in the rest of it, as a manipulation tactic to get her to go back to him. And he always predicted that he was going to pass away. And it got so bad to the point where Maya had to send her legal team after him and send him a cease and desist to stop all communication. Now, it's important to note, just a few days before Liam passed away, he was unfortunately dropped from his record label, and even Sharon Osbourne said in a statement that the record company and the music industry in its entirety failed him. Now, another thing that transpired before Liam passed away is that he told a lady by the name of Rebecca, who he just met, that was staying at that same hotel, that he was a part of a boy band, and that's why he's so effed up. Now, another thing about this so-called Rebecca is that the Daily Mail revealed that that's not her real name, that she went by an alias when giving her account in regards to her encounter with Liam. And she said that his behavior was extremely sporadic, that he was acting strange, he was acting like he wasn't even here, like his soul had already left his body. Now, what I would like to know is why she felt the need to lie. Now, a lot of people were getting on TMZ because TMZ posted Liam's arm after he had passed away, and it was just disrespectful. TMZ was wrong for that. But come to find out that this so-called Rebecca, she's actually from Washington, D.C., and she's an IT consultant, and she was the one that actually took the pictures of Liam when he passed away. So did she sell those pictures to TMZ? Is that why she didn't want her name actually put out there as being a despicable human being? I don't know. Now, 5-0 was called to the hotel to investigate a disturbance, and the disturbance was coming from Liam's room, and the hotel staff became very concerned because they didn't know what the hell was going on. But the reports are stating that prior to 5-0 arriving, Liam had already passed away. So they get into Liam's hotel room finally, and basically they find the hotel room trashed. The TV is busted. You can see where there are utensils that imply that he was using and things of that nature. Now, my question is this the true aftermath of their findings after Liam passing, or was all of this staged? Kind of looks like a Whitney Houston situation here. Now, another question that's running through my mind is, if the disturbance was coming from Liam's room, was he in the room by himself? Could there have been someone else in the room, and there could have been a potential struggle between the two of them, right? Because when I look at this hotel room and the balcony and the 3rd floor, y'all, something is not adding up to me. Look at this. Look at the picture of this hotel and where the 3rd floor is. Because from his hotel balcony to ground ratio, in my opinion, it seems survivable. Yeah, you may come away with a few broken bones, but I guess it does depend on how you went down, if you went down head first and things like that, or if you were pushed. But anyway, there's an interview that's circulating around, and before I talk about it, I just want to say this. If you run across videos that are saying that Liam talked about being at a Diddy party and meeting Jay-Z and things like that, just a year ago or some months ago. It's all lies. This interview dates back from 7 years to 8 years ago, where Liam was talking about meeting Diddy and Jay-Z. But anyway, during this interview, actress Salma Hayek was on the panel along with another guy. I don't know his name, but I do know that when Liam started talking about who was at the Diddy party, the guy cut him off. Now, a lot of people are trying to tie this interview that Liam did, even though he didn't say anything about what went down at the Diddy party, unless I missed something. If he did, feel free to correct me in the comments, but he just said and talked about his interaction with Diddy and Jay-Z. But they're trying to say that this could be the reason why he passed away, because he knew what went down on that particular night when he was at a Diddy party. Now, something that I find particularly strange, and it may or may not mean a damn thing, but if Diddy's supposed to be locked up, how the hell is he wishing his baby girl a happy birthday on his Instagram, right? Now, I understand that there's management that's in place. I understand that his kids and people like that could have access to his Instagram account, but what I find interesting is the fact that he posted this tribute to his baby girl 3 days ago, and 2 days ago, Liam passed away. So with Diddy posting this tribute to his baby girl on October the 15th, the next day, Liam was found passed away. And so I'm not trying to connect the two, but social media is. Now, I haven't seen anybody make that point, but I'm just pointing out the fact. It may not have anything to do with it. It just could be a coincidence. Now, let's just say that Diddy had access to a phone and social media. I thought that that was one of the reasons why the judge didn't want to let him out, because he can make contact with potential victims. And even though he's not allegedly physically out, if he's able to have access to a phone, he can still contact potential victims and intimidate them to the point where they don't even feel that it's safe to even tell their story. Or he could have put in an order. And you know what type of order I'm talking about? Yeah, to silence those individuals, right? But I'm not saying that it's applicable to the Liam Payne situation, but it's just mighty interesting that Diddy potentially had access to social media 3 days ago. So what I want to do right here is play you guys a bevy of clips of people talking about this in its entirety. I want you guys to sit back, and I'll be back to close the video.
And over to say hello to P. Diddy, and Jay-Z was there, and Leonardo DiCaprio was sat at the
All
far
right,
side.
I think you've dropped enough names. Okay, I think people thought Prince and Brian Ferry was good. We don't need to hear about other people who are in the room. Let's just stick on the people the story's about.
So I went over and I thought, I was trying to think who's the easy target in this scenario, who's the one that you go to say the hello, and I'm thinking, I saw him in Get Him to the Greek, I'm going to go over there and say hello to him. So I thought, P. Diddy. So I went out to shake his hand. And I shook his hand, and I was, oh, nice to meet you. And he's just going, but the longest handshake ever. And I'm like sat there just looking in P. Diddy's eyes like, when is this going to end? And then the worst of it happened. There was a whole thing with Jay-Z, and I went to lean in to speak to him. But you can't lean in to speak to Jay-Z. You're not allowed to lean in. And his bodyguard just like shoved me like this, and I went flying across the room. And I was like, right, I'm just going to go and sit over here with Eddie Golden. Thank you, that's enough. Very awkward.
I saw the pictures of Liam Payne's room, that table. What is going on? Syringes, pill bottles, a Dove bar soap box, tinfoil. I zoomed in and I just couldn't make sense of what I was seeing on that table. There's a video of him talking, and he's sitting next to Salma Hayek, and he starts talking about P. Diddy, and Salma Hayek's face gets real crazy. Now, we all know that Salma Hayek is married to the billionaire, and that billionaire, I believe, owns Balenciaga, or is like part owner of Balenciaga, allegedly. No, I really think that's true. And his other company sells inappropriate dolls. Go look that up. And he's a billionaire. I'm so disappointed if Salma is somehow a dark person, because I grew up watching her. I like her, whatever, but you know, it's tale as old as time with these people. How did he go from making that Snapchat saying it was a great day in Argentina to having a mental breakdown in the lobby, being carried up, and then jumping from the 3rd floor? I don't know. I'm not a One Direction fan, so I don't really know this guy. I don't know if he has issues or whatever, but this is suspicious. More and more I realize I don't want anything to do with Hollywood. It's giving Desperate Lives. If you grew up in the 80s and 90s, your health teacher definitely made you watch Desperate Lives with Helen Hunt when she was a teenager. Her boyfriend made pizza in the high school science room and then gave her some of it, and then she jumped out the second story window screaming and scraping her body with the broken glass, and then they played Desperate Lives. This is giving PTSD to me. This is giving, did somebody give him a cigarette dipped in pee? Did somebody blow pee face? Where's his girlfriend? Where's the girl that he was in the video with? Was she also on the... That table looked staged to me. I don't understand. Are you mixing Dove bar soap with... I don't want to know.
Did Liam Payne know too much? Watch this.
I saw him and get him to the Greek. I'm going to go over there and say hello to him. So I thought, P. Diddy. So I went out to shake his hand. And I shook his hand and I was, oh, nice to meet you. And he's just going, but the longest handshake ever. And I'm like sat there just looking in P. Diddy's eyes like, when is this going to end? And then the worst of it happened. There was a whole thing with Jay-Z and I went to lean in to speak to him. But you can't lean in to speak to Jay-Z. You're not allowed to lean in. And his bodyguard just like shoved me like this, and I went flying across the room. And I was like, right, I'm just going to go and sit over here with Eddie Golden. Thank you.
This next video was posted to Liam's Snapchat just hours before the incident, and everything seemed fine.
Morning, everybody. Here's a little video of me. It's rude to put hats on the table.
Sorry.
Is this your hat?
Yeah.
Children. It's a lovely day here in Argentina. This is the breakfast table.
I'm just eating an orange.
Just enjoying coffee and breakfast, even though it's like 1 p.m.
Literally, we sleep in every day until at least 12. We're such losers.
No.
No.
Is it all a coincidence, or is there something more to this story? What do you think?
Okay, so Liam Payne obviously died, which was really sad last night. But it got me thinking a little bit, and the conspiracy in me started thinking, could this be something to do with the P. Diddy situation that's been going on? Am I becoming a bit far-fetched? I don't know. So he done an interview in the UK a few years ago about how he had a really awkward encounter with him. And One Direction are roughly the same age, if not maybe a couple of years younger or older, than Justin Bieber. And obviously we all know about the whole Justin Bieber rumours and the P. Diddy situation. So the conspiracy theorist in me is thinking, has he turned back to drugs and substances and become like this big angry person? Like, if he's been this aggressive in a hotel room, they've had to call the police because there's something more deep-rooted that happened. And it's like almost brought up trauma that now the whole P. Diddy situation has come to like a head. Am I being really far-fetched? But that's just my theory. Like, people do things when they're confronted with trauma. Could something have happened? I mean, he's roughly the same age, successfully, as when Justin Bieber was successful. So, I don't know. But obviously something has happened for him to trigger like this. I don't know. But it's obviously really sad news, and it's like, he's really young, and it's just yet another young life wasted. So, yeah, I don't know. That's just my theory.
Perez Hilton here. I apologize that I can't be louder, and I apologize if there is background noise. I am at the airport, and I feel like I have to share the latest with Liam Payne and all of the developments, so that's what I'm doing as best as I can at this moment. As I mentioned in a previous video, authorities in Buenos Aires have released a new statement saying that it was not an accident, that he did not fall, that he floor balcony of his hotel. As a result of that, being an intentional act, he very serious injuries. And warning, what I'm about to share next is graphic, so you might want to stop watching. As many of us have speculated, if it was an accident, it's possible that he might have survived a fall from the third story of a hotel. Obviously with serious injuries, but according to the very latest, a toxicology report is pending. As I also mentioned in the 911 call, the manager for the hotel that he was staying at shared that he believed Liam was under the influence of drugs, and photos of his hotel room wrecked showed severe damage caused allegedly by Liam Payne and aluminum foil that many people used to substances. So the toxicology report is obviously pending, but a preliminary autopsy reveals that Liam died from multiple injuries and internal and external hemorrhages. I am sure that there is some kind of security camera footage that will help the local authorities in their investigation. And I'm sure we're going to know more about who was accompanying Liam, because, as I mentioned yesterday, prior to his off the balcony, he had, according to reports and eyewitnesses, an incident in the hotel lobby where he got very aggressive, smashed his laptop, and had to be carried back to his hotel room. Carried by whom, and whose decision was it to take Liam to his hotel room? Because if they would have taken him to the emergency room, he would still be here. Sometimes with celebrities, to protect their privacy, people don't do what you should do because they want to protect their privacy. A hug to you all.
All right, so you guys just heard that, and it's just a very strange story. And I think that Liam's family need to do their due diligence and make sure that they have this case investigated thoroughly. And also, I believe that they need to hover over the toxicology test like white on rice and make sure that the toxicology report was administered correctly. But anyway, I'm gonna let this slide right here. I want you guys to feel free to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about this entire situation. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're new here, consider subbing to the channel. I'll get with you guys later. Peace.